let's say I have a nude picture of my girlfriend and I go in and I edit it. I rotate the photo or I crop it.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but it's time. Demasi and Michael, just talking tech.
In a relationship with someone, you guys share, naked, nude pictures of each other back and forth. When you break up, somebody gets mad and they decide, well, I'm going to upload these to the internet. And that's called revenge porn.
But more specifically with Facebook, they're going to upload them to your Facebook fan page. So not only strangers see it, but your friends and family see it too.
Yeah,
that's really where it gets tricky. And that's where because you can upload naked pictures to any random site, and it doesn't mean that people are going to necessarily see it that know you. But if you're uploading it to if someone else is uploading it to your social network,
then everybody that you know sees it. Exactly. So what Facebook has decided to do is they want to preempt revenge porn on Facebook. Now they can't help you anywhere else. Somebody uploads from the Flickr, you on your own. But Facebook says if you go ahead and send us your nude pictures first that the person may have, we will have our people review the photos and then hash them. And hashing, basically what they do is they're going to basically encrypt them. This is a very simplified explanation of hashing, but they're going to encrypt them. But when you encrypt something, you can always look at the bits that make up a thing and say, hey, does file 1 match file 2? Right? So they're going to hash them so that they'll be able to do that. So if somebody uploads the exact same picture, here's why I think is not only a stupid idea, but why it's not even going to work. They have to upload the exact same picture that you sent Facebook. So, well, let me finish the explanation. So they're going to hash them. If anybody uploads the exact same photo that you sent in to Facebook, then an alert would be triggered and says, hey, this matches something that we have in our revenge porn prevention program. Don't allow them to post that. Okay. Now, there's a lot of problems with this, but let me get to the technical details of why this isn't really going to work in the first place before we get to the moral reasons why this is
the moral
just
aspects.
Yeah, why this is just the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Technically, the reason that this would not work is, remember I said that if they upload the exact same photo that you sent Facebook. So let's say I have a nude picture of my girlfriend and I go in and I edit it. I rotate the photo or I crop it. Well, now it doesn't match the same photo that she has in her message thread that she sent to Facebook because it has been altered in some slight minor way. It's still the same photo technically, but digitally it is not the same photo. So it's not going to match. So it's going to bypass right on by their protections there and be out there on her Facebook page. So technically, that's why that's not going to work.
Well, as I said at the beginning, everyone who I bring this topic up to, they are giving me the same response. Like, number one, why the hell would you upload your nude pictures to Facebook in the first place? Now, there's already people who have sent their nude pictures to Facebook because this has made media. We will link over at yourownpay.com/DM30 to the article that we found this or podcast, wherever we found this. But it's reached media attention, which means that at some point, I'm assuming someone has sent in their nude pictures for this manual review team. Secondly, are we who are advertising on Facebook really paying for someone to sit in an office and look at nude pictures? Because really, that's what it comes down to when you think about it. Because if you're paying for Facebook ads, then that's one of the things that you're paying for. And the other aspect is when you're uploading your naked pictures to Facebook, as Demasi said, you can alter the pictures and they won't be the same, so they won't be picked up. But sending your nude pictures to Facebook still doesn't necessarily prevent those pictures from getting out there. This is just a way for Facebook to take them down after they're already published.
Yeah, and another thing with that too is, and here's again another sort of everyday ordinary person. I'm pretty sure somebody's yelling this at their speaker right now, but I'm gonna say it. Look, you send naked pictures to somebody, right? Okay. what says that you have the same pictures that they have? So if they actually took naked pictures of you, you don't have those. You can't send those to Facebook. So again, this in no way helps you. Now, the article that I actually read this in says that they're basically trying this out as a thing in Australia. I don't know if anybody's actually uploaded their photos there or not, with, probably some plans of testing it, seeing how it works, trying to refine it. I still think it's a stupid idea. Number one, and one thing that they pointed out, or a couple of things they pointed out in an article that I read, are reasons that I keep a lot of stuff away from Facebook in general. Facebook by design is meant for you. They want you to share everything with everybody, right? Now, yeah, they're trying to be smart and they're trying to be helpful by coming up with some solution to remove revenge porn from Facebook. Although it seems to me that they got a lot of smart people at Facebook. They could have came up with a better idea.
Right. And maybe there are more details to this that we don't know about, and it could work in a different way, and that is possible. But the details that I've read about it make it sound like it's a waste of time.
Yeah, like I already see 1,000 ways this can be, well, maybe not 1,000, but I already see a lot of ways that this can be circumvented or bypassed totally not intentionally by somebody. Because again, people edit photos, they crop them, they rotate them, whatever they do, that's going to change the, outcome of the hash right there. So it doesn't match what you sent to Facebook. My problem also is Facebook has had some issues in the past, with leaking information, or improperly disclosing to its users what they're going to do with information. They've been slapped by the SEC here in the US for that. So again, that is one reason that I steer clear of Facebook when it comes to a lot of stuff, simply because you don't have a great track record at protecting my data that I want protected, right? If I choose to share something publicly, that should be obvious that I'm sharing it publicly. I'm usually aware that I'm sharing something publicly. If I want to share it with just my friends, I do so. But if I tell you I want a piece of data to be private in my Facebook account, I shouldn't go back in 6 months the next time I log into my Facebook account on the web and see that you're, showing the entire world my phone number, right? That's not cool.
No, not at all. And when you're a major corporation, you have the responsibility to disclose what type of information you're releasing to the public. Now, Demasi, we got revenge porn in Australia. You brought up how this is being tested in Australia, and I thought of a segue conversation so we can cover two topics in this episode. Have you heard of the self-delivering, I think they're called posties, mail delivery people in Australia?
I have not heard of these. I've heard of the self-delivering drones that Amazon is testing out, but no, I haven't heard about these. So tell me about these folks.
Yeah, so I will find the video because it was a video that was shared on a Today post on Facebook. Back to our favorite network. On the post, they were very descriptive of how it worked. So after hours in Australia, in a segment, I don't remember where it is, but statistically, this segment of Australia gets the most delivered packages around Christmas time than any other part of Australia. They are online shoppers in that community. So what these drone-like machines are doing, they weigh 100 kilos. I don't know how much that is in pounds, but they weigh 100 kilos, and it's a little box that, well, maybe a big box that drives around with packages inside of it. And after hours, it will drive up to your house, send you a text message with a one-time use code that you go downstairs in the example that they gave. You go downstairs, you enter your one-use code into that box. It opens up, you get your package. When you close it, that activates a sensor that sends it back to the home base. And it's got sensors all around it. So in the video, they were explaining how the people who were recording the video were standing in the delivery box's way. And the lady asked how, it might have been a man. Anyway, someone asked in the video, how is it going to react to this as the machine was coming towards them? And it explained how it just moved around them and it went to where it was supposed to go, sent the text message. And I like how it's a one-time use code. You can only use that one-time use code for a certain amount of time. And then after that, that code expires and no one else can open the machine.
Huh, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, so they're definitely moving them forward with autonomous vehicles in a big way if they're deploying these on the street. Like I said, Amazon has been testing drones. I haven't been keeping up with where they are in their testing phases as of yet, but they want to deliver your Prime packages via drone. I guess they'll just land in your front yard or something, drop it off. I don't know, but this is interesting, right? It's fascinating in a couple of ways. Like it proves how far we've come with technology and how smart, AIs can be, and how far we've gotten with programming computers. But another thing that this also, another conversation that this is brought up a lot of times with me and other people is, this is also going to start putting people out of jobs as these things really take off and are successful. What happens to your UPS guy if you can just get your package via drone or via some vehicle that drives up and texts you that, hey, your package is here.
The concern of losing jobs, but there's also other jobs that will be created for new innovations to create future products.
Yes. And that is the thing that I point out to a lot of people. Yeah, your traditional everyday job may go away, but look, somebody has to program these machines. Somebody has to design the programs, the applications that are going to run these machines in the future. So now is the time. And I've been telling a lot of young people, look, now is the time. If you're going to college or you're in college or you're going back to college, look, somewhere in an engineering field or somewhere working with smart AI, something like that, you need to be going into those fields, going into economics or going into, your traditional, hey, the goal of going to work for Wall Street, like that's dead. It's over. Give it up. That's my opinion. It's dead and over because one, we got computers doing high frequency trading, which is a whole nother conversation. But essentially, the computers are hella faster than you'll ever be at calculating what's going to happen. Now, whether or not they're good for the economy in the stock market is a whole nother conversation. Some people say, yes, I don't tend to necessarily agree with those people. I've
seen 5 cryptocurrencies launch in the past 6 days. I mean, okay, I'll say 5 cryptocurrencies launch in the past week, and we won't even get into what cryptocurrency is because that is a complicated, convoluted subject that I don't even understand. But because I clicked on one of them, I've been retargeted all over Facebook about it.
For all of them, yeah. And it's crazy because they Bitcoin started all this off, and then once Bitcoins became like, super profitable, and it's also now very difficult to get Bitcoins. You've seen a lot of other cryptocurrencies crop up, but the question is, you invest your time into trying to mine these coins, and is it going to pay off for you though, right? Is it going to take off and be the next Bitcoin? Because right now, Bitcoin still rules the roost. Like
that being said, however, here shortly over on the contact page at Your Own Pay, there's going to be a wallet address. If you feel like donating some of your Bitcoin, I'd love to take it from you. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'll be glad to take it for you. While you're over there, visit the show notes at yourownpay.com/DM30. And Mossy, do you have anything else you want to mention on this episode?
No, that's it. Except that Stripe also lets you take Bitcoin, so I'm going to set that up too. Yeah, it does.
Okay, so on episode 31, we're going to talk about Stripe and how to set up Bitcoin. Demasi, we're done recording for today. How can they follow you on Twitter?
You can follow me on Twitter at Demashe, DAMASHE. And he's
at Payon, PAYOWN. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
You've been listening to Your Own Pay Podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode, visit yourownpay.com/cast for exclusive content and to contact us today. We're eager to hear your thoughts and about how you're making this podcast your own. Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon. The Your Own Pay Podcast, yourownpay.com.